Hi, I'm back. I'm Audrey. I'm an ear, nose and throat surgeon at a hospital in the NHS, and I'm doing a series of short videos just taking you through a little journey that I've had with God during this crisis of COVID-19. And where we'd last left off, I had been in a situation where I felt that at work I'd been called to arms, and it was the moment where it all hit me, and I was crying and shaken, and the reality of what I was going to face in the coming days and weeks had blown me over. And I went home that day, and so I should let you know that whenever I have a bad day, I have this thing that I do, and I encourage my friends as well whenever they're having a bad day, is to allow yourself a day, usually about a day, to just cry and feel sad and indulge yourself and drink wine and mope and don't speak to people, and then after that time is over, you snap out of it, you man up, you get on with business, yeah, because the truth is, you know, it's all just feelings, and it's where you are there, and you can move on from that. And so I had decided in my head that that Thursday night I was going to be indulgent, I was going to cry, feel sorry for myself, and the next day, on the Friday, I would get back to normal. And so that evening I went home. There was a prayer meeting for the NHS, which I did attend on Zoom, obviously, and it went all right. And then after the prayer meeting, I got myself a drink. I don't think it was a glass of wine. I don't think I had wine, because you crazy people have taken all the wine off the shelves. Anyway, so I had some nice fruity type alcoholic drink that I was going to enjoy, and I had 2 squares of dark chocolate, which is my treat that I'm allowed while trying to be healthy. And so I had that, and already I had a blanket. I was sitting on the sofa, the kids had gone to bed. I was about to watch something a bit meaningless and easygoing to flow over me while I was comforting myself. And my husband was on the phone with somebody who knows her. She will know herself from this story, but she was encouraging my husband, and she wanted to speak to me, and he said, yeah, she's here. And in my head I was thinking, oh. Anyway, so I speak to this lady on the phone, and she was lovely, and she's encouraging me, and she said to me, oh, I really miss when we used to do Bible studies together. And I said, yeah. And she said, I was thinking that we could do maybe 2 Samuel together. And I thought, that sounds really good. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'll just quickly turn to it, and then I'll see what verse she wants me to look at. So I said, yeah, no, that's okay. And I had my phone next to me, and I flicked to 2 Samuel, and I'm on the phone, and I'm waiting for her to tell me what verse. And she says, yeah, no, just the whole book. And I'm in my head, I'm going, please, not on my Thursday indulgent day. I want to feel sorry for myself, eat this chocolate, drink this alcohol, and watch nonsense. And I said in response, that would be really good. We really need to find a time to do that. Thinking, that's it. And she said, yeah, you're right, we'll find a time. And then she paused, and then she just kept talking about a section in 2 Samuel, and namely she talked about David and Goliath, and she talked a little bit about that, and how what she felt about it, what God was showing her as she's been reading it recently. And she encouraged me, and you know, it didn't take too long, probably about another 5 to 10 minutes, and she prayed for me, and I came off the phone feeling better. And a little thing was niggling in my spirit that I thought, I should probably read more, because you know when sometimes the word pops out at you and something starts, and you know that you need to follow it through a little bit. That started to happen, but I had refused. I said, no, I need to eat my chocolate and watch this nonsense and relax. So having put down the phone, I then settled back down, looked at the TV, and my husband had changed the channel, and on the TV was a movie called War of the Worlds. Yes, War of the Worlds. If you don't know War of the Worlds, it's a movie based on an amazing book called Day of the Triffids, and it is essentially an apocalyptic story. And on this day of all days, I have to watch this movie about the world possibly ending, and I was not happy. And I said some words, because obviously I'm a good wife, I'm trying not to kick off. I said something like, oh, this is such a serious and disturbing film to watch at this time. And my husband's response was, and he carried on watching. So then I'm sitting there and I'm watching this film, and I'm getting even more annoyed because it's that scene in the movie which is so annoying. You know, literally, white people, I'm sorry, I need to say this. Tom Cruise's character is outside his house with his small daughter, and the wind is blowing and they're standing outside, and he says to his daughter, it's really amazing because the storm is blowing towards the eye of the storm. Instead of, the wind is blowing towards the eye of the storm instead of away. And they're looking excited about it. And I'm thinking, get in the house. You already have recognized that this is a weird thing. Why are you still standing there? Get in the house. And this little girl is looking worried and concerned, and Tom Cruise is still looking exciting. And then lightning starts to crash in the same place, and it's all kind of crazy. And then the camera pans out, and along the whole street, all the neighbors are outside their house doing the same thing, going, oh, wow, get in the house. Why would you stay there? I was so annoyed by this point. First of all, by the choice of movie. Secondly, that I have to watch this nonsensical scene which does not make any sense in my African mind. And so I turned to my phone and I said, just read 2 Samuel. So I read 2 Samuel, the bit about David and Goliath, not the whole thing. And oh my days, it started a journey that weekend whereby by Saturday, I wrote this. Because remember on Thursday, I wrote something down, which was a little bit sad, a little bit low. And because of War of the Worlds annoying me, and an incredible woman of God encouraging me, I picked up the Bible on the very night that I was supposed to be my indulgent, feel sorry for myself night. And straight away I was encouraged. The Lord did not give me time to indulge myself. He said, come on, mate, let's get on with it. And I wrote this down on Saturday. I said, the call to arms remains. But I realize now that I had mistaken whose army I was called to. I am not a servant of the NHS. I'm a servant of the living God. It's not my hospital army to which I'm enlisted. It is the Lord's army. As things shift, I see that what I saw before me is not the real battle. And the hospital is not where it will be won. The worldwide pandemic that is COVID-19 will be used of the Lord to bring about his purposes. And this Goliath will not be fought with sword and spear. David said to the Philistine in 1 Samuel 17 verse 45, he says, you come to me with a sword and a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. I choose to fight in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel. I mean, what would the response of COVID-19 be if I turned up and said, no, not on my watch? I serve the God who raises the dead to life. So I'll tell you this, my prayer has changed. I wrote this down. I said, I pray, Master, that my hands will bring the healing of Jehovah Rapha. That as I approach, the lungs of patients requiring ventilation will be restored. Yes, that's what I'm praying for. That every ward I walk onto will be filled with life and healing. Yes, why not? Why can't I pray that? That the supernatural shalom peace of Christ will be experienced wherever I may go. Father, use me. Lord, I want to be an ambassador, a vessel, a minister of the Almighty for your glory, Lord. The battle is yours, Lord. May this enemy be given into your hand. May all the earth know that there is a God in heaven. This is what I wrote down on Saturday. It's a big difference between what I wrote on Thursday. My point is this. As you pray for us, yes, pray that we don't get sick. Pray for all the staff. All the staff. I mean, the NHS has a lot of staff. Don't forget administrators. Don't forget cleaners. Don't forget physiotherapists. Big up the physiotherapists, by the way, because they are heroes in this, especially chest physiotherapists, respiratory physiotherapists rather. Pray for us. But as well as praying that we stay well and that we come to work, pray that we would have a renewal of the mind. Pray that we would have a renewal of the spirit. Those of us that are Christians, those of us that carry the King of Kings within us and the Spirit of the living God with us, those of us that walk with the Lion of Judah, that we would have a change of heart, that we would walk on with an expectation of healing, that we would walk in with an expectation of bringing life and refreshment and joy and peace, even in the midst of the dark. Why not? Will it always happen? Have I seen anybody that I've gone to see suddenly miraculously healed? I have not yet. But he says that I can. This is the God that raised the dead to life. And he says the same power that rose Christ from the dead is in me. Come on. Come on. Lift up your heads, you ancient gates. Be lifted up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your head, you gates. Be lifted up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory.